Welcome to our discussion about Parshat ASBEE, where we're privileged to read the Ten Commandments themselves and then the Parshat Shema, the very first paragraph of the Shema, which we say every day. Chapter 6, verse 4. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and the entire paragraph. What is the essence of the paragraph of Shema? What's it all about? Is it the acceptance of the oneness of God? The love of God? What is this paragraph about? If you look in the Mishnah in Brachot, chapter 2, there it says that Rabbi ben Karcha, one of the great rabbis of the Mishnah, says, Lama kadma parshat Shema l'vayayim shamoa. Why is the parsha of Shema, why is that the first? Couldn't perhaps the tzitzit section or some other section be first? And he says, Kadeshi kabel alav ol malchut shamayim tchila, v'achar kach mekabel alav ol mitzvot. The reason we read the Shema first, because we want to accept on ourselves the yoke of heaven. The rabbis understood this paragraph as fundamentally accepting the yoke of heaven. Or when they said, Amar le Rav le Rav Chia, one rabbi said to another, Lo chazina le Rabbi de mekabel el malchut shamayim. I never saw the rabbi Rabbi Yehuda Nasi accept the yoke of heaven. He said, when he puts his hands over his eyes, that is surely when he accepts the yoke of heaven. Clearly, the rabbis in the Mishnah and the Gemara see the paragraph of Shema as accepting on ourselves the yoke of heaven. Where in the Shema do we accept the yoke of heaven? Perhaps it's in those words, Hashem Elokeinu. That Hashem is not just an abstract philosophical God, which we believe in, but He's Elokeinu. He's our God. I have obligations to Him. I have to love Him. I have a relationship with Him. That's the yoke of heaven. But if we look in the paragraph of Shema, it's so chock full of so much. There are mitzvot shebalev and mitzvot masiyot. There are mitzvot that we have to believe and think, mitzvot in the heart, and mitzvot of the deed, things we need to do. The mitzvot of emunah, the commandments of emunah include the oneness of God, as we said, the love of God, and as we alluded to, the hashgacha, the notion of divine providence, that God is my God, the yoke of heaven, the burden of having a God, and what that means and what that entails in my life. Those are three fundamental beliefs. As far as mitzvot, you have the mitzvah of Talmud Torah, Vishnan Tam Levanecha, V'dibar Tabam, to speak of the Torah, the tefillin, the mezuzot, the saying the Shema as we wake up and as we go to sleep. These are the mitzvot masiyot, practical mitzvot from this paragraph. But what is it all together? In its entirety, the paragraph of Shema, one might argue, is about one word: obsession. It's not sufficient that we love God in the sense that I like bubblegum, I like baseball. The love of God has to be in a total obsession. And that's why it describes our commitment to God in so many ways which cover all the bases. We should make it as a sign in our hand, representing our actions. It should be as a sign between your eyes, on your head, representing thought. It should be across from your heart, alav avecha, representing our heart, and yadecha, our actions. Our obsession with God extends the realm of action, the realm of thought. Wherever you are, whether you're in your house, whether you're on the road, that covers all the bases. It can't be anywhere else. You're either at home or you're on the road. And there's only one of two possibilities. You're either getting up or you're going to sleep. It's either daytime or nighttime. And either way, God is with us at all times. The mezuzah, whether we're coming or going, there is God surrounding us at all times, on our mezuzot, on the very doors of wherever we're going and wherever we're coming. That's the paragraph of Shema. It's the yoke of heaven and an obsession with it, an obsession with the notion of God. God is not a secondary part of any aspect of my life. God is with me at all times. But there's also another notion. When we say Hashem Elokeinu, it's a bit of a contradiction. Hashem, who is Midat Harachamim. Hashem, that name representing a merciful God. He's Elokeinu. He's also our judge, the judgmental God. And that's the affirmation of the first sentence of Shema, is that it's the same God who's both loving, kind, merciful, and judgmental, harsh, challenging. And this acceptance of the notion of God, whether merciful or judgmental, as the God that I love and I know, this is expressed also in another expression, not just Hashem Elokeinu, that God is our God, the God, merciful God, is also the judgmental God, but also uv'chol meodecha. You should love God with all of your heart and all of your life. V'chol nafshecha, afilu notel et nafshecha. Even if He takes my life, even if that loving God turns, as we say on Tisha B'Av, turns into my enemy. Darach kashto, ke'oyev. If He turns and He sends His arrow against me, even notel et nafshecha, He takes my life, I am still a devoted, loving servant. Uv'chol meodecha, what does that mean? The third phrase, v'chol midah u'midah shu moded. With every measure that God gives me, ben midah tova, midah paroniot, whether it's a good day or a bad day, the love of God is there each day, no matter what. What is the paragraph of Shema all about? It's about an obsession. And no matter what happens, I love God, and that's how obsessed I am. I'm obsessed with God in every aspect and facet of my life, even to the extent of a bad day, and a really bad day, and the end of life. Throughout, I am obsessed with God, as Rabbi Akiva expressed, to that very last breath, that very strange last breath, where the great rabbi is taken by God. He still loved God. And as the Tzur Hamor, rabbi who lived through the expulsion from Spain and later through Portugal, said, this paragraph is that bare minimum. That God knew that no matter where we were, and no matter what would happen in our history, no matter how bad things got, a parent could at least teach their child, as the secret Jews did in Spain. They should at least teach their child the Shema, and with this paragraph, the notion of the entirety of the Jewish experience throughout my entire life, and no matter what happens, with this, we would have enough ammunition to survive in many generations. What is the Shema? It's an obsession, an obsession with the yoke of heaven which I carry with me wherever I go, and whatever happens, no matter what. Afilu hu notel et nafshecha, even for the ultimate sacrifice of Kiddush Hashem, of sanctifying my name for God, I continue throughout my life and every second to love God. That's the paragraph of Shema. Thanks for joining us today. Please join us again next week as well. I want to thank Jason Lefkowitz for making today's presentation possible. And please join us at ASBEE.net here at the Anshe Sfar Beth Elameth Congregation in Memphis, or email me at rabbijmf@gmail.com for further comments. Thank you.